Well, hello there, Gemini. It is so good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your weekly tarot reading. This is good for August 1st through the 7th. Yes, we are into August. So, we're going to take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. So, let's see what we have here. We're going to start with your soul travelers card. Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Let's take a check. Yeah, fogged in. Go slow, take time. We're coming up to that Lionsgate portal on August 8th. And, with the new moon in Leo that we had on the 28th of July, there's been this shift in our energies. Chiron went into retrograde, and it brings up a lot of our wounds, from, childhood or experiences that we have had. But it's asking us to help heal those, because by healing our wounds, we can then help step onto our soul's purpose and help others to heal. I feel like, between now and the Lionsgate, which is August 8th, so like this week, you're really stepping into this energy of looking at those wounds, that have kept you kind of fogged in, not really sure what's going on. It's this energy of allowing yourself to accept what is going on in your life at this time. And kind of, it's not just releasing past energies and hurt. It's also about accepting where you are in life and then being able to say, okay, I accept it. It's like one end of the bridge. I accept my life for what it is. And now I'm willing to cross over and focus on what life is going to bring me. Really interesting, because they're really showing me that lantern. You're holding the light for others. This fogged in is because you're not really sure exactly what is on the other side of the bridge. Sometimes it's really much easier to hold on to things from the past, even if they're painful, because by doing that, it's something that we're familiar with. Even if it's toxic or painful, we hold on to it, because by crossing this bridge, we're kind of like lighting the path for ourselves, but also the path that you are going to help light for others. It's a little scary. And it's scary because it's unfamiliar, but you're being asked. I really feel like this week is a major shift in your energy of just accepting, okay, this is where I am in life. This is what is going on, and it's almost like, okay, it doesn't even matter. You've spent so much time trying to heal it and mend it and correct it and change it. And now it's kind of like, okay, I just accept that relationship is over. That job is over. That career path has ended. I accept the ending. And now my focus is not going to be on when is it coming back or how can I get it to come back. My focus now is on what is ahead of me, what lies on this other side of the bridge for me. So I would say, Gemini, this is probably a huge transitional period for you, stepping into that Lionsgate portal, putting out into the universe what it is that you want to create. And I feel as if you are stepping into this energy. Oh my gosh, this is just so lovely. I just want to sit with this energy for a minute, because Gemini, you've been through so much. I feel like it's really and truly this energy of just, okay, it is what it is. I can't change it. I feel like, it's not a stubbornness. I feel, Gemini, it's because you are so mutable. You are so flexible. And you're just like sitting in this energy of trying to perhaps get something to work that just isn't going to work. The option has been closed. That door to an option has been closed, and it's painful. There's grief there because you're realizing that that option has been closed. But in that very moment, when you say, okay, that door is closed, that person is no longer in my life, that situation is no longer for me, that belief or habit that I have held on to for so long, no longer good for me. I'm shutting the door. I feel like you've had this energy for some time, but there's this sense of the change in understanding. Yes, I accept it. Okay, I totally, truly accept it. And really stepping into the energy of, okay, what does the future bring now? Really lovely, really seriously lovely here. So I want to point out that, yeah, you have on the bottom deception and conflict. You know, you have friends and colleagues. I feel like, you know, this is an energy of people in your life that have almost pushed you into this realization that something is no longer for you. The option is closed. And once again, it could be a sense of relationships. Okay, that's over. Moving on, you know. Situations. It could be even with work. To me, this is kind of like a work scenario. But understanding that there are people in your life that I feel it's a sense that they Gemini, I think this came up in your reading last week too, a sense that they are bringing conflict into your life because they see that you are moving on to bigger and better things. It scares them because they may not see at this time that they have the courage and strength within them to make the changes that they want to for their life. So it's almost like it's easier to pull Gemini down than it is for them to step into the courage and strength of shining their own light and moving forward in a positive way. You've been waiting for this a long time, and then look at this. Death is underneath. You know, you've been waiting for this ending. It's almost, again, that sense of, I really don't want this to come to an end because it's been something. Once again, it could be a relationship, a job, a business, a career, a belief. You've held onto it for so long. You've put so much time and energy into it. So it's really difficult to say goodbye to it because in that moment, you really are grieving. It's this sense of grieving something that was really important to you or someone that you really loved at some point in your life. So your present energy for this week is deserving and the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a lovely energy of being really grounded, also wealthy, responsible, reliable. It's stepping into this energy that you deserve that, but it's also stepping into this energy of that you deserve to be that also. Because, you know, all of this has been holding you back from what you want and deserve in your own life. I feel like you're stepping into the energy of being the King of Pentacles, of understanding that you deserve the energy of the King of Pentacles. You know, having financial wealth, not just meeting your your needs and wants, it's having more than enough so that you can be generous to others. It's stepping into this energy of being grounded, of not being on that emotional roller coaster anymore, of being grounded, of understanding who you are and what you deserve in your life and standing strong in that. Let's clarify this really quickly. Yeah, because I feel as if you're stepping into this energy. You know, the King of Pentacles doesn't take any bad offers. The King of Pentacles is really good in business, but also in his life. And gender doesn't matter. It's just that masculine, if you think about this, is like divine feminine and divine masculine. I feel like this is you even coming into balance within yourself, allowing things to come towards you because you know that you deserve them, but also being, you know, being discretionary in what it is that you accept. The King of Pentacles doesn't accept every offer that comes across, you know, his path. He steps into this energy of only accepting those things that he knows are going to be responsible, reliable, and, you know, abundant for him. Something that is an equal give and take, because the King of Pentacles recognizes that everybody needs to win in a situation for it to be a win-win situation. Wow, really interesting. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, willing to, I feel like some of this is coming in because you put the time and energy, you planted seeds in the past. But I feel like you're really putting time and energy, planting those seeds and the things that you know that you are deserving of also. So we have the King of Wands here, lots of divine masculine energy here. Being able to stand up against those conflicts, those people, those situations that are just draining you of your energy. You're beginning to see your life in a different perspective. You're stepping into this energy of accepting what has ended in your life, of truly accepting it. You know, we can say, oh, I've worked on releasing that, I've worked on healing it, but sometimes we just have to stop and accept where we are in our life at this moment. It's not necessarily accepting this and that and all of those. It's where am I right now? You know, accepting where you are, and then having the fortitude, the hope within to look forward to what you know you deserve. You know, taking stock of where you are now and where it is that you want to go in the very near future. So your obstacle here is that you have had a huge disappointment or heartbreak here. Something didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. And it's really taken a toll on your self-esteem. The true love card is ourselves, loving ourselves for who we are. And also understanding that we have the strength and the fortitude to continue after a true disappointment. I would say once again, it's this energy is coming in that, you know, you're having a difficult time. You're over analyzing. You may have trouble sleeping because it's this energy of, you know, you have to close the door on a past option. You know that you have to say goodbye to this. And there's a true sense of grieving here. Like, my heart is heavy because in that moment you realize that you cannot go back. It's like you've started crossing the bridge and there's part of you that wants to go back and revive something from the past. And yet you know you can't. So it's almost like you're dragging your feet going across this bridge. But I also get the sense that there's this moment in time where you realize sometime this week where you really can't go back to something that was. That it just, even if that person or that situation returned in your life, it would never be what you dreamt it would be. That's really hard to kind of accept, right? So for instance, you know, maybe you're separated from somebody that in a way you are truly missing, right? The heartache is really strong there. And yet at the same time, you know that if you reunited with that person, you know, they could have been very deceptive. There could have been a lot of conflict in that relationship. The truth of the matter is that you can't go back to that relationship in the same energy as when you first maybe fell in love or first met or first started that business, whatever this disappointment is, because there's been so much pain and anguish in this relationship. That relationship could never be what it was at one time or what you dreamt it could be at one time. That is the part that I think you are having to deal with, is that there's a part of you that almost feels like it is grieving, or you have lost a part of you because in that moment when you accept that that door is closed, that relationship could never be what you dreamt it to be, there's a part of you that is almost dying inside because it's a dream that you had. It was a wish that you had, that when you accept that it's over, it's a true sadness. And that is the part, you know, it says here, it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. I feel like that's what you're doing this week, is accepting the fact that there's no reason to put any more time or energy into something that is truly over. It's just never going to be what you thought it would be. And that is difficult. That is difficult. I feel like you've done a lot of healing in this situation. Yeah, it's just causing you a lot of self-doubt. We have the High Priestess and the Lover's card, your energy. But there's also this sense of this is your obstacle of going within and understanding what it is that you want for yourself in the future. Understanding that your Nine of Cups is still out there. It's just a different Nine of Cups now. It's kind of like when you're crossing this bridge, you have to leave some, person or situation on this side. Turn your back on it and walk towards what your new Nine of Cups is. The hard part here is recognizing that an option has closed for you. That option no longer exists. It is almost like a death in a dream. Your dream, you understand that dream of the past has died. I think you know that it's died for some time. Your intuition tells you, yeah, this isn't going to be revived. And yet at the same time, it's kind of like, but that was so close to your heart, right? It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. But I feel like this is the last piece, Gemini. You've been healing it. I feel like you've been peeling back the layers and you've been working on this. And now they just keep saying accepting that the option no longer exists. Accepting that this person is no longer a part of your life. Accepting that this belief or habit or situation or job or career is no longer an option. By doing that, you're actually freeing yourself to look at other options. And I know you may be saying, yeah, but I don't want to see the other options, or I'm having trouble seeing other options. It's not until you allow yourself to accept that something no longer is an option that the fog will clear and you will see new options. It's almost as if by holding on to this energy, you are also holding on to the fog of seeing other options clearly. Wow, that's, really kind of a powerful message, especially coming up to this Lionsgate portal. It's this energy that, because look at this. I hadn't even looked at this. This is your advice, that you are going to discover something new. Something that I feel like you've been searching for some time, but because you were fogged in the past. Oh, Gemini. I know we just had the new moon in Leo, but you may actually, I almost feel like you may need to have kind of like a ceremony, almost like a funeral, if you will. I know when my children were young, they had, little pets along the way, the hamsters or lizards, whatever. And when those, pets would pass, we always had a little funeral, in a shoebox, whatever. There was a little funeral for, that fish or the hamster or whatever. I feel as if that you almost need to have a little bit of a funeral, understanding that this option, a funeral is where we say goodbye to someone that is no longer of this world. I feel like there's almost this energy where you have to say goodbye. You have to realize that this person, this situation, as difficult as it is no longer part of your life in this time. They're showing me flowers. I think they're daffodils. Perhaps, what do we do for a funeral? We send flowers, we have a ceremony, some people, are go to a cemetery or a gravesite, thinking about how do you have to put this to rest? Because I feel like there's a strong sense here that you're crossing this bridge, but You have to cross the bridge by yourself. See, that person is by themselves. There is this sense that, yes, you are going to have to cross this bridge by yourself. But in that, and I want to point out, in both of these pictures, the person is single, okay, if you will, solitary, okay? But in that moment, when you are by yourself and you give up the option of something from the past returning, it's as if you truly step into something that is really beautiful. Page of Pentacles, something that you can build on for the future. Discovering the golden nugget of yourself. What makes you special. What is, I feel like it's also your healing gift, you know, your own healing. Oh my goodness. I'm also getting, you're discovering, you're discovering your new start to yourself. You're overcoming the doubt so that you can see. I feel like this past person or situation really has done a number on your self-esteem. All of a sudden you can see they're saying joy. A golden nugget of joy. I feel there could be, Gemini, it could have been a very long time since you have felt joyful. It's almost when you allow yourself to grieve, they're showing me the death card. When you allow yourself to grieve, to almost have like this ceremony, this funeral for what you no longer can have in your life. It's almost as if you find joy in that very same moment about how to proceed. Oh my gosh. I know, I was pulling those cards and I was like, where is this going? Four of Pentacles. Understanding you've been holding yourself back. And it's really because this was something that, once again, that grief is coming in. This was something that was really important to you. It's brought you a lot of sadness that this person, this situation is no longer in your life. You know, this sense of, I'm going to hold on to it, and yet it's bringing you a lot of internal conflict. Why are you holding on to it? This person or this situation does not want to be in your life, or when they're in your life, all they do is bring conflict, chaos, pain. So it's about understanding you have the strength and the courage to, look at this, walk away from this pain. By saying to yourself, okay, that situation is no longer an option for me. I feel like you really gave it a good try, Gemini. You know, you really did. Give yourself a big pat on the back and say, you know what? I really did try in this situation. I gave it my all, but this situation is just not an option for me anymore. I have to go and search. Look, she's walking away. She has the courage to look for other options, you know, to lift the fog and to start seeing other options, to going in a new direction. Wow, really, you know, lovely energy there. I would say be very kind and gentle with yourself as you're going through this. But, yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments, you know, like what it is that makes it so difficult at times for us, for you to release an option, you know, to say, okay, no, I have to close this option. Because I feel like we all do that for different reasons, but at the heart of it, it's because it's something that is so, you know, I feel like you identified yourself with this job or with this relationship. There was a lot of your identity tied up to it. And so that is part of why it's so hard. Not only are you saying goodbye to a certain relationship or situation, you're also saying goodbye to a part of you that you put a lot of time and energy and love into. So for instance, you know, if you got divorced, then you're no longer a spouse, you know, and maybe some of the other things that came with that role that you played, that role is no longer your role. So you've lost a part of your own identity. But understanding, you know, going back to that person, right, is not going to really help you find your true identity by allowing yourself to say, okay, that relationship is closed. Now I need to go rediscover who I am without that person. And in that moment, you start to find your own true joy. Start to understand just how special you are. You have the strength to go forward on this new path, to cross the bridge, to cross the bridge and find the happiness on the other side. Memento mori. There might not be a someday. Yeah, I feel, there is that message, that energy of, you may have held on to the hopes of somebody or some situation returning to you. And, it's kind of like it prevents you from moving on. It prevents you from seeing the other options in your life because it's kind of like, yeah, well, I think they're going to come back one day. I think we'll reunite. I think, and when you go to that spot, what you're doing is just really fogging in all of the other options. And we all do this, Gemini. So don't be hard on yourself if you're like, yeah, why did I waste all that time and energy there? That is part of the grieving process, right? Is, going through all those different feelings, looking at it from different perspectives. You've done a lot of healing and a lot of growth by, at times, maybe holding on to this, right? But now you kind of understand. When I was a child, I had a good friend that lived a couple of doors down. And I was like 5. And, we would pick daisies and then pluck off each petal, he loves me not, that type of thing. It is that energy of you could have been going back and forth about wanting to release this and then not, and then wanting to release this and then not, like going back and forth between, letting go and not letting go. And you may be frustrated with yourself right now because it's like, why didn't I let go of that so much sooner? But I feel like this was such a deep wound for you. You did have to let it go a little bit at a time, And now it's kind of like you realize, okay, there's just a little bit left. I need to kind of like rip the Band-Aid off and be willing to accept the fact that this is no longer an option. And as I say that, I can feel the grief that I feel like you may be facing at this time. It is that last little bit that sometimes can be the most difficult, right? Because you're truly saying goodbye. But in that moment of saying goodbye, you also have some beautiful, lovely discoveries ahead. And that's what to put your focus on. Have your funeral, say goodbye, and then focus on your really bright, bright future with the gold there. Well, I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. I do personal readings. The link is in the description box below, and I really do appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.